Hey guys, this is Darshil and welcome back to another episode of FPL must-haves. Today I'm gonna go over Game Week 31's 3 must-haves. Before that, let's quickly jump into Game Week 30's 3 must-haves, how they did, and have a quick look at my team, followed by a look at the fixture analysis for the next 4 game weeks, I guess, and then look at the teams that we want to target, and then finally go into the 3 must-haves for today. So looking back, Haaland got a 12 pointer. He was my number 1 pick. Kane got a 9 pointer. He was at number 2 pick, and I think Mitoma got a 2 pointer, so he blanked. But yeah, I think the highlight was Haaland. I personally switched out Tony for Haaland, and not many people did. Maybe like half the people did and half didn't. And it really paid off well. I know Tony could have scored much more, maybe a 13 pointer too, because he missed a penalty, but that's just how it is. We know Haaland is always guaranteed goals, and it could have gone either way, but I'm happy to have Haaland's luck on my side than Tony's, and he's just a long-term pick, I guess. I'm not really looking to get rid of him for till the end of the season unless he has a major injury. And yeah, Kane is always crucial. He's the goal bag in a trash team. He's always returning. He got 3 bonus, 1 goal, and I guess even if you captain him, that didn't turn out too bad for you. So that was great. I think personally, the one mistake I probably made was Henry. I played Botman just because Newcastle kept a clean sheet against Man U, and I guess that's not the right way to look at it. Henry has that attacking threat too, and he got an assist for the penalty. So I could have played him and got 4 more points and up my rank, but still a small green arrow. I think I just moved up like 900 places, but I'm up to 64k, so that's pretty good. I think in this very competitive season where there's so little to win, there's so little differentials that you can get to climb up the ranks, but I guess this is what this series is for. And yeah, let's move on and try and up this rank maybe to the top 20k in the next 5 or 6 game weeks. So yeah, let's move into the fixture analysis. So quick look at the fixtures. We have Arsenal has West Ham away and Southampton at home in the next 2 weeks, so I think that's pretty good. But then after that, they've got some difficult fixtures. Maybe Chelsea at home is not the worst thing right now given the forms of Arsenal and Chelsea, but City away is pretty bad, and in 34 you want players who have double game weeks, so maybe not Arsenal players. Maybe moving down, Brentford players are not too bad for the next 2 game weeks. Wolves away and Villa at home, so home fixture against the better team, and that's not the worst thing. And after that, I guess you probably wouldn't be playing them too much, because Chelsea away is kind of, unless Tony, I guess if you have him, that's pretty okay. And Brighton and Chelsea, as we know, paired with Man U and City, are all blanking in 32, so this video must be taken separately for those who are free hitting in 32 and those who are not. I'll make sure to make that distinction, but you need to be careful and not just buy players without a plan for the next game week. Maybe moving down, Liverpool is one team that a lot of people might be targeting in the near future. So they have Leeds away this game week, and Nottingham Forest at home in 32, and then West Ham away in 33, and then a double against Tottenham and Fulham both at home in 34. So I think Liverpool probably have the best fixtures out of all the good teams in my opinion. And then you know that City are facing Arsenal, but they have Leicester at home in 31, so I think that's a pretty favorable fixture. I think we'll look soon at some of the teams that we're trying to target, and Leicester is definitely going to be there given their terrible form and their place in the Premier League right now. United have Nottingham Forest away, but they might be having some injuries after today, so need to watch out for that. But they do have a double in 34 that is probably the best, maybe compared to Liverpool's double, I guess. And then we have Newcastle. They don't really double, I guess, in 34, but they have a double in 35 or 36 some point in the near future. And then I guess that's pretty much it. Tottenham, yeah, I guess I have Kane for now. Bournemouth at home, but I'm probably looking to get rid of him before Man U at home, as there's so many other players like Salah who you'd want to get, and he does occupy a huge chunk of funds. But yeah, let's quickly look at the teams that we want to target, and then we move on to the must-haves. So as always in this video, I want to try and look at the stats. This table is organized, as you know, in order of expected goals against. So the team at the top is always the worst team in the league, and you know Bournemouth is always there. They never disappoint. Then there's Leeds, Everton, Nottingham Forest, Villa. Villa's probably a bit better than this. This stats after the World Cup, so they might be a bit biased because Villa's improved much more very recently. Leicester deserves to be even higher. They've been really poor recently. Liverpool, yeah, they're not keeping a lot of clean sheets. And then Wolves, Palace, Fulham. So I think two of the teams I can see here that I want to target maybe would be three of the teams would be Bournemouth, Leeds, and Leicester. And you know that I already have Kane from for Spurs, who's facing Bournemouth. I don't think I'd advise having a lot of Spurs players, as they're not the best too, and they could easily just lose 0-1, 1-0 to Bournemouth. And Everton, I guess, are improving under Sean Dyche, and I don't think they'd go down into relegation this season, because they do have a experienced manager who knows his way around these things. But let's see. We're not really discussing too much about who's making it past the relegation, but it's definitely something to consider how much some teams have to fight for. I think Leicester have everything to fight for, but they just don't have the people. They do have like staying up to fight for, so they'd fight for 3 points every game, but they just look very awful, especially at the back. So maybe if you have players who are facing Leicester, you'd expect high scores against Leicester. And we know City is facing Leicester. We have Haaland, so he's definitely my captain, spoiler alert. And in terms of maybe Leeds, you know, Salah is facing Leeds and he's their main man, so he might be on the list. But yeah, without further ado, let's move right into the must-haves. So my number one pick for Game Week 31 is Mo Salah. I think he's been phenomenal. These stats are from Game Week 25 onwards. He's been really good recently, especially at home. And that's why we're buying him. We're buying him for the long run, so he has home and away fixtures. And as I mentioned, he has a double in 34, which is at home. This fixture's away, but we know Leeds have been really poor defensively, so definitely expect him to show what they showed against Arsenal. Most of you might know this, but he recorded his highest ever XG against Arsenal, a team that has been so good defensively. So just imagine what he could do on a day where the keeper's not as good as Ramsdale, and on a day where he's finishing a little better. I think he's in great form right now. He's undroppable in my opinion. He was dropped in the middle to just like try and move things around, but he's the main man. He's guaranteed 90 minutes. He's gonna be on pens most likely. I can't guarantee that, since he missed 2 penalties recently against Bournemouth and Arsenal. But I definitely think after how much he's given to this club, how he's been their main man, I don't think Klopp has the balls to drop him, and I don't think it's too right. Maybe if he misses one more, I guess. But yeah, 5 goals, 2 assists, an XG of 5.26 in 7 games. His price is a bit high, so you might need to move things around to get him in. Maybe sell Kane, not sell Haaland for sure. And maybe Fernandes if you want, because he's been playing a little back. But yeah, his ownership is 26.6%. The reason it's in green is because a lot of people are very highly owned. Players like maybe Odegaard, Martinelli, at least 40%, Trippier 99%, or I guess not 99%, but pretty 90 something. I guess the 99% stat was just among some experts that I was watching, but I think he's pretty highly owned. So would be maybe Kepa, Raya, Kane, Watkins. So really a lot of the players are just template picks, and we're in a season where it's so hard to try and get these differentials. I think getting on the Salah train early might help you with price and points. So definitely my first pick. I really am considering him, but given that Kane also has Bournemouth at home, you kind of have to weigh your options and see if you can fit both in your team. Otherwise, pick your bet. But if you're chasing rank and you want to go against the lot, I think the lot is having Kane, so you'd be going for Salah. But yeah, let's move on. My number 2 pick for Game Week 31 is Jack Grealish from City. I think this is the first time he's appearing on my videos, and he's probably in the form of his life in a blue shirt. He's been phenomenal recently, not just by the stats that we see, but the eye test, how crucial he is on that left flank for City. And in the last 5 games, I guess since Game Week 25, he's got 2 goals, 2 assists, decent XG and XA, and his price is really good. His ownership's really low. Maybe a lot of people might have him by game week 34, since he's one of the most guaranteed and cheap City midfielders. But if you want to jump on this train early, I think it'd be phenomenal. If you want to get rid of Rashford, maybe you're impatient with him, you don't want someone on your bench who's not being able to play for the next few games, as Eric Ten Hag mentioned, you might want to get Jack Grealish on. I think he's definitely has his position secured for now. I don't think anyone else can play that on that left wing position better than him. We all know Foden's injured and he might take a game or two even after he's back to get that spot. But even if Foden comes back, I think Grealish is really in the form of his life, probably even better than his Villa days. And I think against Leicester he could definitely smash them. I think this could be like a 5-0 whitewash, because City really have to go for every game. They don't have the luxury of like playing a second team or something. They know they are still chasing the title race, and Arsenal still have a 3-point lead over them. But nevertheless, I think the main thing about him is that Leicester have been really poor defensively. They've been conceding a lot of goals, and that right flank is even more vulnerable in my opinion for them. So Grealish could definitely counter on that. I think he's a bit more assists proven, I guess, but I know Pep was saying that he wants him to play a bit more, come in a bit more to try and attack, run in behind the defense and try and contribute a bit more towards the goals, which he has tried. He has got 2 goals recently, and I expect him to get more. So I think this is just the start of an informed Grealish that we're seeing. He still has a lot more that he can achieve, and I think it's a definite good gamble. It's not even a high risk, high reward. It's just medium risk, high reward. So I think is definitely a good pick. And when you expect City to smash Leicester like 5-0, and maybe Haaland does not get all 5 and leaves one for another teammate, I think it'd be Grealish. And he's maybe, if you want to compare him to someone like De Bruyne, I think he's like 5 million cheaper approximately. So definitely some value in getting someone for so cheap who plays very attacking wise, is really always up there with the forwards. He's not, sometimes you'd see De Bruyne playing with the number 6 or number 8, but Grealish is always going to be as high as he can, because he's the left winger of Man City as of now, and I expect him to be very dangerous on that left wing. My third and final pick for Game Week 31 is Gabriel Martinelli from Arsenal. This may be a little of a surprise to you guys, but I think the numbers really do him good justice. He, in the last 7 appearances, got 6 goals, 2 assists, an XG of 3.85. So he's kind of overperformed his XG, if you may want to look at it in that way. His price is only 6.7, so really cheap compared to some of the other midfielders and forwards that we look at normally. And his fixture is West Ham away. His returns have been phenomenal. He may be overperforming a little, but the reason he's third on this list and not first is because one, he may be overperforming, and 2, he does not have a double in 34 like as compared to someone like Salah. So and maybe number 3 is because some of us already are moving away from Arsenal assets and moving away to maybe Liverpool, City, Man U, so he may not fall in that category. But I think he's probably the most dangerous Arsenal asset right now, in the attacking sense at least, or even overall as a player to score the most points. He's definitely the most nailed on. I think it'd be even more nailed on than Saka, maybe not Odegaard, but I think he's really proven himself. He's taken that spot and made it his own. He's made a statement that, hey, you may bring on any other left winger, but I'm probably one of the best in the league at this point. So I think he's been a great threat on that left side, especially something I've been looking at as an Arsenal fan myself, is that since Saliba's gone, they usually try and play a bit more on the left, because Gabriel is there, and Holding on the right is not that great with his feet. So they've been attacking a lot more on the left. That's why maybe Saka was a bit out of the game in Liverpool's game. And I think Martinelli just runs at every single defender, whoever it be, may it be Arnold, Van Bissaka, I don't care. He just goes at anyone and almost gets the better of everyone. So I think he's gonna really be a good pick for the next 2 games, especially Southampton at home in 32. So if you're not free hitting, he's definitely someone you can get, and then maybe move him on before 34 when they don't have a double and others do. But as a short-term pick, I think it'd be great if you're looking for someone just for 1 or 2 weeks and then to move him on. And maybe if you're looking to get rid of Rashford, who do you want? Maybe someone who has value for money, and this is real good value for money, 6.7. And someone like Saka is like 2 million higher and probably gives you expected same points, especially because Saka's on pens, Martinelli isn't, but Martinelli is always much more of an attacking threat, especially after the World Cup. So I definitely think it's a good pick. If you have, I guess it kind of applies to a small subset of you. It's not for everyone, because so many people might be saving a transfer, so many people might be just looking towards that 34 double and then trying to strengthen their team in that sense. But if you are someone who's looking to chase rank, look for a 1 week punt, 2 week punt, he might be someone who's very explosive and gives you that 15 pointer or 18 pointer like he has done previously. On to the final section of this video, we're going to go over the watch list. These are the players that I have at the back of my mind every time I'm making a transfer, and then people who I keep on looking at, observing to see if I want them in the near future. I'll start with Alexander-Arnold. I think he started off very dreadfully in his last game against Martinelli, but he came back, he got an assist, he got a shot that went just over the bar, and he started playing a bit more inverted, I guess, like how Zinchenko does. So it was kind of working out for him, and he got back his attacking self. We saw a glimpse of what he could have done normally, like say what we saw in last season. So I think he has that potential. I know his defense is really poor. I'm a big hater of Arnold in terms of how lazy he is defending wise, but in terms of FPL, all we care about is the points you can give us, not how good you are. And I think attacking wise, he does have that potential. So I just want to look at him for maybe 1 or 2 games and then get him in for 33 or 34, so that I have him for that double, that where they have 2 home games. I definitely think you should try and get as many double game week players as you can, and someone who has 2 home games, maybe a Liverpool side that keeps rotating a little here and there. Maybe they don't really have a lot of good competition in the right back position and right wing position, so I'd expect people to go for Salah and Arnold and get those double game week points for those Liverpool players. Similarly for Edison, he's a double game week player for 34. There's not a lot of good options for 34 and 37 better than him in terms of the defensive part of it. So even though he may not have a high ceiling, I think if I was able to get a 12 pointer from him in 34 and 37, that'd be a really good buy, even if I was to maybe take a hit for him right now. But I think compared to someone like Kepa, who has like 2 difficult away fixtures, I think City and Liverpool, Edison has it much easier, and so does he in 34 and in 31 right now. That you may even want to buy him in 31 when he has Leicester, but maybe not in 33 when he has Arsenal, because I expect Arsenal to always score in almost every game. But yeah, I think he's someone who if I was to buy him soon, I'd keep him for the rest of the season and start him almost every game, because City have something to prove, City has something to achieve. You need to look at the ambitions of each team. They definitely don't want to concede too many if they're fighting for a title, and they definitely are. So I think he'd be a good buy. I expect them to kind of clean up their act at the back. They've kind of solidified their back 4 now, and are keeping the ball much more and not too vulnerable at the back. But maybe towards the back end they have some difficult fixtures against Brighton, Brentford, Chelsea, but for now I think they have a good run, except Arsenal, so that might be a good buy. And finally Olise, I don't think a lot of people would have anticipated him being in the watch list, but not just because he got 3 assists. I think he's been really improving in his last few games, and with their new manager they have a good bounce coming up. They have a good run of games. I think I looked at their run of games and they had like Wolves, Southampton, Everton, not too bad. And you know, some of these games between 2 average teams, they usually have maybe a 2-2 or 3-2, and someone like Olise was always on the attack, always on that right wing, cutting balls in, crossing balls in, and maybe taking some shots, taking corners, like getting that XG, getting those bonus points. I think he's definitely a good pick if they continue to do well, and you are looking for that extra midfielder who might be cheap and you have a slot for him. Maybe you don't want to play him every week, but just once or twice when you have injuries. So he's someone I'm looking at, just especially if you're someone who's chasing rank. Someone like this who not literally would have a less than 1% ownership, would be a great buy if he was to perform and return. And of course you can't know this, he may just stop performing after you buy him. It's a very high risk, high reward, I must say, but it's just on the watch list for now, and who knows, Crystal Palace keep this form, get a few wins, prove their worth under Hodgson, and they do well. So if they were to do well with Zaha injured, Eze sometimes coming off the bench, I think Olise is someone who's guaranteed minutes and the most likely to give you some good returns. But of course you don't expect him to give you like the same points as Salah if his price is so much cheaper. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. Let me know in the comments below if you don't agree with any of these, or you agree and you like this video, and any suggestions you might have in terms of how I set up this video. And yeah, see you soon for Game Week 32.